What's good everyone, and welcome back to another video. If you are new around here, then please drop a like on the video and subscribe, as it'd be greatly appreciated. And I do really appreciate all the support I've had on the recent videos, guys. Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much as always. Now it is Thursday, means one thing: we are going to be building some lineups. Now I've done some research into lineups as well, so there was a few quote-unquote stats that got released on Twitter, and a few things I'd seen, and obviously a few things I've discussed about whether it's worth playing in season versus classic season, and then also depending on the divisions you are in the reward pool. And interestingly, the stat I saw was actually based on the in season, but it was the average amount of points it cost you to win a reward. And surprisingly, Division 4 is what looks to be very, very lucrative, because by the looks of things, people are getting promoted very easily, and if they have very good teams, they're obviously Division 1, 2 and 3, and then the people that have DMPs and stuff are Division 5 and Division 4 is kind of like middle ground, where there's not too many people playing. And then alongside that, if you've got a really good team, it'll get promoted and keep getting promoted, so you get less competition, but the rewards are still very, very good. And I looked into this when building my lineups, so we're going to start off with my Premier League Classic Limited lineup, which is arguably probably the strongest lineup I'm ever going to put out, which I am very looking forward to it letting me down, because I say this every week, I'm really confident, and then something will go out, something will happen, and the lineups will let me down, as always. But when I am putting this lineup together, we are going with Bart in goal. He is just the starting keeper now by the looks of things. Me saying that he definitely won't now, but he's played the last 5 games. Even in 3-0 loss, good AA, clean sheet, so on and so forth. Very, very happy with him as a purchase. And I mean, when you look at his price graph as well, I bought him for £34. There's a public offer of 45 there. There's one the other day, 53. Any on the market at the moment. 60 is the cheapest one for his card at 1%. And I've got him up to, I think it shows 3% here, but I've got him up to 4% now with XP bonus. So I've made a good amount of money back on him as well, and hopefully he's going to be the Netherlands starting keeper as well in the Euros, because that'd be very good for myself. Then in defence, we have Paul van Heck with that AA rating, Pascal Gross with the AAA rating, then Adingra and Welbeck are going to be going up front, and I'll be captaining Pascal Gross. If you look at that, that's 84. I think the highest I've ever had is like a 78. Like it says there, that is a very strong lineup. Obviously, they have got Burnley in the league when we look at the league itself, looking at the league table. So obviously Brighton are mid right now in 10th, but to get that Conference League spot or Europa League spot, 48. So they're only 5 points off. They do have a game in hand over West Ham, but obviously Chelsea have a game in hand over them, and the rest are quite balanced. They are playing Burnley, who are almost bottom of the league. And when we look at Burnley's home form, Burnley are actually the worst team at home in the league. 2 wins, 3 draws, 11 losses. Whereas Brighton away from home, they're not great, but they're not awful. They're mid-table as well. So it gives me a lot of confidence. And like I was saying with the seasons, what I did is I calculated just going off their average score. So their SO5 off the last 15 games, with the bonuses I have on the players, ended up being around 350 points, and in Division 4, scoring 350 points last game week would have won you a Tier 3 in-season limited, which is valued about between £5 and £10. If I go on a classic for Division, if I go on in-season for Division, you would literally just grind in that threshold and win £2.50. So playing the classic is definitely worth it for me. Hopefully the team can do the business. Obviously, it is a quote-unquote easier game, but no game in the Premier League is ever easy. And also, some players may be rested, some players may be rotated. I'm hoping not, because I'm hoping that Brighton are still looking to push for that qualification into Europe. So that is going to be one of my Premier League teams going in. Hopefully lots of goal contributions from the boys, and then good AA and clean sheet at the back. And then, as always, we will go into Premier League Classic Limited again, just in case there is rotation within the squad. Jason Steele will go in. then when looking at the predicted lineups, Estupiñán is at a 70% by the looks of things. So he'll be going in the midfield. We've got Lallana, Buonanotte and Moder, and actually Moder's 50% here and 30% here because he can play either attacking or defensive. So he's actually at 80%. So he's going to be going in the team just there. I will then be playing Cameron Archer and Austin Trusty. So we're going for Brighton and Sheffield United. Obviously Sheffield United had a pretty good game against Chelsea. They are playing against Brighton away from home, so chances are they are going to lose. Austin Trusty should start. Cameron Archer, as we saw, I won him the other week. He's an in-season card. I'm very, very happy to have him in the team. Came off the bench, got an assist. Hopefully that means he starts. He's 50% chance of starting. This will go Div 5. This is one of those where it's like, right, if we can get a box, we get a box. I'm very, very happy. Next up, we will go into the Champion Classic. Looking at the players I've got, the Athletic Club boys are back in business after their win on the weekend, winning the Cup, which is great for them. And when we actually have a look at La Liga, now they've won the Cup, which means it gives them automatic qualification into the Europa League, which is where they sit currently right now, like Europa League right here. And it looks like they would have got the Europa League anyway, but they are only 2 points off of Atletico Madrid. Now there is, I want to say, obviously it's a 20 league, so there's 8 games still to play. They're only 2 points off Atletico. They're quite far off Girona, but you never know what's going to happen there. They're playing at home as well. Fingers crossed they want to be pushing for that Champions League spot, because that would be really, really good. So I predict they're going to play quite a strong team. We can see the predicted lineup here. And when building my lineup builder, Unai Simon will be going in there. Defensively, it's tough. When we look at the scores of the players, Yuri is back. DeMarcos can score well as well. Expected 54. Yuri is expected at a 56, which I do like quite a lot. And then obviously you have the defenders that can put up good scores. And I do have all the defenders. I have DeMarcos on an 8%. And I have Yuri on a 5%. Yuri is one of those where I probably will play him just because, like, he was injured and then he came back. But when you look at his scoring, it is very, very consistent in that nice over 60 mark. But it is the same thing with DeMarcos. And I know if DeMarcos plays, he's going to be captain. He's going to be playing on that right-hand side. But he hasn't been putting up scores like he used to put up scores. But he had a spell where he did pretty well here, and they're quite old is the issue, those two boys. Whereas, for example, someone like Paredes in centre-back, 23, will play the whole 90 minutes. He can put up good scores, but also just very average scores. And obviously we want to try and hit that upper threshold. We also want to be sensible and looking at players and thinking like, right, obviously we have other lineups to prioritise and think about as well. It's between DeMarcos and Yuri. Looking at the teams, obviously Yuri's expected, got a higher chance of starting in this game here. Villarreal have got a good team, of course. And who would I rather have matching up? I think because Nico Williams is expected to start, there'll be a lot of play on this left-hand side. So I'm going to be putting Yuri in the team. In midfield, there's only one option for me here. Bennett Prados is going to be going in. He has been playing really well recently. Look at those last 3 games. Look at the AA rating in those games. He goes into the team straight away. And then we'll be playing Goretzka and Inaki Williams as well. Now, Goretzka is doing very, very well. Like, he does score, but his AA isn't the best. He needs decisives. Inaki Williams is the same, to be honest. And it's always a risk playing 2 attacking forwards that are going to start. Now, Inaki Williams hasn't actually been playing that well recently. Like, when we have a look, he went through a spell here. Good AA, good scores. He hasn't scored in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hasn't scored in 5 games. But he had this spell back here where he was just scoring for fun and putting up good AA. Hopefully he can get back to that position. And this is the risk. Obviously, I could put someone in here like DeMarcos. They're expected to win. Good chance of a clean sheet. But we're going to go Naki Williams. We're going to actually captain Prados because I feel like he can do very, very well if he holds that AA. Gives me a 73 just there, which I'm very, very happy about. And then, do I want to do another Champion Classic lineup? Obviously, the goalkeeper. There could be some rotation. It's not expected, but Julian does play. Like we saw, he played the last game. Obviously, that was because Unai Simon was going to be playing in the Cup. When we look at his all-time scores as well, played a couple games back here, and when you look at what was happening on back here, this was coming towards the end of the season, really. Like there wasn't too much going on. It was at a point where Athletic couldn't really do much last year, so they played him, and it's like, right, are they going to do that again? But I think because they are still pushing for those that Champions League spot, basically, they won't play him. But he can go on the team, he can get me some XP. Then, with regards to this team, we'll put DeMarcos in here. We will put Sanchez going to have to go in to there. He's the only midfielder we have. He does have an L15 of 38 though. So depending on this team, because Alex is obviously not going to start, but he always comes off the bench as a sub, and he does occasionally get pretty good scores. He can go in, and then we will be playing with Jesus. Has a good matchup. However, I don't know if he's going to be playing. It looks there like he might be injured. Napoli. He's at 75% chance of playing. Or do we just play the full stack, put Danny Vivian in? We'll put Danny Vivian in. We'll put DeMarcos as captain. This is a tier, like I say, this is going to be going into Division 5. So it's just like, right, can we win a box is really what I'm looking at. And I might move it around and put it in, for example, like Cap 240. But for now, we're going to go there. Then we have our Challenger Classic teams. As you can see by those ratings, very, very excited about this. So we will start off with looking at, firstly, what divisions I've got for Challenger. 2 in Division 4 and 1 in Division 2, which I'm very, very happy about having those people in Division 4. Pirard is expected to actually keep a clean sheet the most. To be honest, Daniel Backman, obviously I've been using them in All-Star, the Watford boys, but coming off of 2 back-to-back clean sheets, 270 scores, getting back to that form that we want them to be in. But we obviously are going to go with our stacks. So, thinking logistically, obviously we're going to go Maxim Crepal and Kamal Miller as the stack there. Then we're going to go with Evander in the mid, like putting up some crazy good scores at the moment. Here we go. Last 5 games, very, very good. Obviously 3 decisive actions in the last 2 games. Finally playing at home. Portland's lineups are really weird this year. Like you look, they played 3. You look here, they played 2 away, then they've got 1 at home, then they've got 3 away, and then they've got 2 at home, 1 away, 1 at home, 1 away, home, away, away, home, home. It's not until these game weeks here where they have 2 back-to-back home games. Now we know, obviously, looking at the MLS, the benefit the home games give you, which is crazy. And when we look at, obviously, probability and that side of things, Evander, AA rating. We also have Moreno as a AA rating. However, he did get subbed off at half-time because he wasn't playing very well. And he started the season really strong. Last 2 games hasn't been performing to the same standard as Evander. And we'll even check Play Sharper just to make sure everyone is in a good spot. Moreno is still expected to start. Evander's 9% as well. Miller at 9%. Eric Miller's only 50% anyway. So chances are he may play, he may not play. Araujo and Superic there, Diego Chara there, but I will be going with Evander. And then we are going to be going up front with Dante Vanzeir. You look, Red Bull are at home as well. 60% chance of winning this game. They are playing Chicago Fire. I actually don't know how Chicago Fire are doing in the MLS. Let's have a quick look on how Chicago Fire are doing. 2 games, conceded 14 goals though. But they have scored quite a lot of goals as well. If we look at the home record, New York played 2, won 2 at home, and away Chicago Fire have played 4, drawn 2 and lost 2, so they haven't won a game away from home, which is very, very good. Good to see. Dante, I'm surprised at C rating. Like when we look at him last game week, since playing in the MLS and actually starting, like obviously had a few games back end of last year, but since coming into this year being that guaranteed starter, 4 assists against Inter Miami at home. Nothing happened in this game here against Orlando. Last game, goal and an assist. He's now at home again. If we look at his home scoring, there's not too much data to go off, but he'll be going in the team. And then Lewis Morgan has that AAA rating. Yes, he did miss a penalty against... don't think it's going to load. Try again. Here we go. He did miss a penalty last game, which is obviously going to knock his confidence, which is such a shame. But he has been doing very, very well with decisive actions. Like you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decisive actions in the last 6 games. Does score good AA as well. Just last game, he just didn't do what he needed. Whereas New York Red Bulls, 90%. So I'm very, very happy with these being at 90% and with him going in the team. And thinking about it, they are top. They've got a 60% chance of winning. Portland only have a 35% chance of winning against Los Angeles, who are obviously quite a good team. Do we go with Lewis Morgan again? He did let me down the other day. Do we go with Dante being the striker? Obviously, Evander could be captain. He is more likely to get better just overall, like AA score, like they're 10, 18, 12, 11, 18. I think because of the knocking confidence and because he's going to have something to prove, we're going to captain Lewis Morgan again. Now, I don't know what team I'm going to put this in, whether I want it to be Div 4 or Division 2, because it is such a strong lineup. But another strong lineup that I'm very excited about, and I'm surprised how low that score is. It's probably because of Krepau and Kamal Miller, to be honest. But we go again. As always, we have got our standard Liège stack. So obviously they are playing Saint Truiden. They are playing away from home. So it's going to be slightly more challenging. But Bodart goes in. Lafise goes in. Kawebe goes in as well. And then we have Kanga and Yeboah up top. And obviously Lafise gets captained. And this is more of one of those lineups that we see what happens, you know. And then the last challenger lineup is going to be Lucas Pirard and João Silva. And I actually want to have a look at how... let's go here. We're not looking at Michelin, but we are looking at Cortege. Now you have to... obviously they're in this relegation playoff. You have to obviously win it to not get relegated. And if you come second in it, it's between you and whoever wins in the... I think it's whoever comes second or third in the Pro League. Otherwise, it is instant relegation. So they're big games. They are very, very big games. And obviously, they are playing at home. Yes, they're playing first, but they're playing at home, which kind of gives you that indication of they're going to go all out because they need those points. If they can take 3 points from Charleroi, puts them on 28. Hopefully UPenn lose or they draw. To be honest, a draw is probably the best bet. just to put them in that position, puts them 2 points closer. They've still got quite a few fixtures to go. Obviously, home game, away, home. Last game could be very, very important for them, but still got 5 games to go, so a lot weighing on this game. Silva and Perard will be going in, and then it's looking at players, looking at just getting the most out of the teams that I've got. We'll put Santiago Moreno in here, and Ratby will be going in as well. He hasn't been playing very well at all recently, after having some great AA score and decisive action. That last game just didn't do what needed to be done. But A-rated, he is at home. They are playing Westerlo. Westerlo are not very good at all when we look at the table, when we look at the split. Standard Edge here sitting on 18 points. Westerlo sitting on 15. And you look at Westerlo's form recently, in shocking form, especially their away form. Where's Westerlo? Westerlo away, only won 2 games away, whereas obviously at home, Mechelen have won 7 and only lost 4, which isn't bad. So he can go in there. And then it's, do we play Sorensen? Do we go with Sorensen? He has an L15 of 60. He hasn't done anything in the past 3 games. He had 4 games in a row where he was incredible. In the last 3 games, he hasn't done anything. They are at home, but they are obviously playing Copenhagen, who are a very, very good team. Due to his L15 being so high, I will probably play him, just because he doesn't fit in any other team. This is that kind of random lineup. I feel like I've got to back him Ratby, to be honest. Sorensen hasn't done anything for 3 games, and Ratby hasn't done anything for 3 games. Moreno came off at half time. He has something to prove as well, but I think Ratby has to go out there and just kind of prove everyone wrong and prove that he is still the player that he needs to be. And I think that when we look at the Mechelen lineup, I think he's playing in this wing position again now that one of their midfielders is back. I think one of their midfielders was suspended, so he's playing back on the wing. And when he was playing on that wing position, in that more striker cam role, he played better, because when we look here, obviously this was the worst score he got. He played in centre mid, changed the formation up, which is not what you want to see. So he'll be going in. That's a score of 68. I actually have no idea, obviously looking at these lineups, 67, 61 and 68. We obviously have all the home fixtures here, all away fixture here, and all home fixtures here. So it's whether or not probably this team or this team we play in Division 2, and then the other teams we play in Division 4, because we have 2 Division 4 lineups to put in. Now that's something I'll look at and something I'll think about, but I think I'll most likely play the MLS boys in Division 2. I feel confident about that lineup this week. And then we have got the contender lineup. We have Kaiserslautern playing against Firth, who are pretty high up in the table. Kaiserslautern are in that relegation zone still. Like, it is, when you look at it up to 12th, like, it is so neck and neck. It is so close. They are away from home, and they've got an okay away record, but it's not great. And obviously, who they're playing against are at home, 8 wins, 3-3. And when we look at their form at the moment, they're not doing very well, which is good to see. Whereas FC Kaiserslautern's form it's okay. 1 draw, 2 wins. Even in the 2 losses, they scored, which is good to see that they're still scoring goals and have that ability to do so. There's quite a few injuries as well in the Firth team, and it is kind of make or break, like I was saying, for Kaiserslautern now. They need to win these games. the teams above them, Rostock and Braunschweig, have got, let's just go here. Rostock have Hertha Berlin away from home. To be honest, relegation here, got Holstein and Klein. You got to hope that they can do what needs to be done. Obviously, Himmelmann will go and goal. In that defensive position, we will be putting in Boris Tomiak, as always. In the midfield, Marlon Ritter is meant to start again. They need goals. They need to score so he can go in. Up front, Ragnar Aki is back from injury, and he obviously scored very well. Then in this game here, got injured, subbed off, did shoot negative, decisive because he had a big chance miss. Missed his game, came back. Yes, he only played 60 minutes, but got a goal. He's in very, very good form at the moment. He'll be going in, and then I will most likely play Opoku. He is predicted to start. He has had a great game in that left attacking cam position. But he does have a very, very low L15 of 40. So potentially I may put him in to cap 240 depending on who I've got left for cap 240 is going to be a thing. And then looking at this, do I put Tomiak as captain? He has the highest AAA rating. He hasn't done very well recently. Like when you look recently, negative 14 AA, 20 AA, 7 AA, 5 AA, 16 AA, 8 AA. But when we look back at how he used to play, around this period here, he used to get a lot more goals because he used to be on actually set pieces, funnily enough. 40 AA, 30 AA, 16 AA, 14 AA, 20 AA. He used to get some very good AA. Now let's be sensible here and actually see what he scored the last time they played. Now he got sent off the last time they played, which doesn't give me the most hope. Marlon Ritter has potential. He does have potential. He hasn't been playing as well as he was playing recently, like going through a really bad patch of form here. And the last time they played, just short of 35. Do I think they're more likely to get a decisive action and score? They do need to score. Or do I think they're going to keep clean sheet? Chances are they won't keep clean sheet. So Ragnar Aki will go into that team. We will save him there. We then have All-Star to prioritise next, which will be going in as Daniel Bachmann in goal. And then we have got Paulo Diaz in form of his life at the moment. Hopefully plays again tonight, but coming off a 96 and an 83. Just a beautiful, beautiful player to have for the team. In midfield, few players to go with. Do I stick with the Watford stack? Watford have drawn 3 games in a row. Yes, they got Southampton, but that actually doesn't really matter. When we look at Watford's recent form, if I go for Kayambe, let's say, Watford have had Leeds, West Brom and Ipswich and have drawn all of them. And actually, we almost beat Ipswich. Kayambe had a shot on target in the last minute, looked like a clearance from the halfway line and almost caught the goalkeeper out, which was so close. Do we go for someone like Yimi Chara, who is predicted to start? They are playing a very poor team in the league. The issue I have with Yimi Chara is he did play in the CONMEBOL Libertadores game last night, and he didn't do what we needed from him, sadly. I will obviously review those lineups, but big chance missed. And when we look at him as a card, he can put up those good scores though, but it's hard to tell. Let's have a look. So when he is playing and he's at home, came on as a sub, played, got great AA, came on as a sub, scored, played, got good AA. To be honest, I'm going to have to play him because he's got some great AA scores there. We will put him in. Up front, we have got Emmanuel Dennis, who came off the bench yesterday. Don't know whether he's going to start or whether he's not going to start. It's tough, to be honest. It is very tough. low L15, but same thing as Bakis has a low L15. They're playing at home. And Girotti, who was obviously a new purchase that I bought for the Continental Knights because he had a low L15. And would you look at that, he got himself a goal away from home. I don't know too much about the Argentine league with regards to the likes of Talas. Independiente are at home. I don't know if Emmanuel Dennis is going to start or not. This is the only issue. Has Play Sharper got the Watford lineup up yet? They do not have the Watford lineup up yet, which is obviously Watford only played yesterday, so I can't expect it to be up. Asprilla will be playing on the bench. Redondo might come on the pitch off the bench. Tachi is meant to start for FC Kaiserslautern. To be honest, Felipe Mora is not predicted to start, but when you look at how he's performed, off the bench, goal, off the bench at half-time, goal and assist. If Jonathan Rodriguez isn't playing very well, then we could see Felipe Mora come on and actually play in there. Do I think Emmanuel Dennis starts against Southampton? He only played, 5 minutes yesterday? 4 minutes yesterday, because he did get subbed off against Preston with a slight injury. He never manages a full 90 minutes. This all-star team, I do need a better forward. Federa is coming back from injury as well. We're going to go with Mora. I want to back Mora to play that game. And then it is, who do we play in this extra position? Now, someone that takes my eye straight away is Hiroki Okuno, who is coming off of a great game with 35 AA away from home. They are playing Kawasaki Frontale, but Kawasaki are sitting in 15th position. Do we play Jesus? Chances are he's going to keep a clean sheet, put some decent AA up. They do have Frozone. We've got Paredes as well. We've got a couple good players to still pick from. And it does actually excite me about putting my cap teams together. I just have no goalkeepers, is the only issue. What am I on about? I know exactly who I'm putting in. I don't know why he's rated B. Wesley Hoyt goes in that team. We back the Watford boys defensively. I don't know why he's showing up so low here. Look at that L5 of 78. Like, you look at that when obviously he had 2 games missed because of the yellow card suspension being his 10th yellow card. But when you look at him starting the last 5 games, worst score was 56. Last 6 games, look at that. He's ridiculous. He's our captain. He's Watford's captain. He's the main man. He'll be going in. Paulo Diaz can get captained. Yes, there's a risk that Felipe Mora doesn't start, but if he does come off the bench and perform with the form he has been performing in, then I'm going to be very, very happy. Now, we will go into Cap 240 next. Looking at the teams, we have no starting goalkeeper. That is the one issue I have. Obviously, I have a lot of players in my lineups. I have a lot of people playing. Do I go out and buy a starting keeper? Probably not. Funny enough, also, I bought Nick Jelkins a few games ago because I knew he'd be starting for Westerlo. He didn't even play in that game and he got sent off on the bench. So that's quite funny. I saw that and thought, he got a score of 0. But I was like, he didn't play. Of course he got a score of 0. Obviously, I'll go for someone who isn't going to play and who isn't going to start. But this is where it's like, I need more goalkeepers. Do I invest more money onto the game? Do I want to invest more money into the game? Not really. What's the suggested lineup looking like? Krau, Kayembe, Alvedi. See, I wouldn't be playing any of these guys. So, we are going to be opting for the lower threshold by the looks of things. Is there going to be any rotation coming up? Is OHL going to rotate players? chances are not, because their lineup's not even there. Annoyingly, like when I bought these players, Prevot was the starting keeper when I bought him. Only 27, was starting. He was not doing the best, but since Layson's came in the team, he is now one of the best keepers on the platform. Like, looking at his scores, he just cleans up. Like, he does do very, very well. If he keeps a clean sheet, he just gets very, very high scores. Now, I'm not going to go out and spend 15 quid on him, which surprisingly is only 15 quid. But I am also like, do I just get a £2.50 keeper that starts, that I can just chuck in and it's going to get me 30 points? You know, because that will put me a lot closer to the threshold. And then when we look at this, Jokdang, do we put Jokdang in the team? Coming off 2 decent scores, no clean sheet bonus, but is playing at home against bottom of the league. He has a 49 score though. Samprisi playing bottom of the league. Eric Miller may not start. Paredes. We play Juan Jesus. Juan Jesus goes in. Acuna goes in. Girotti goes in. And then tough. Diego Chara came off the bench. He is just their best defensive midfielder. He just scores. Like they're not great scores, but he does just score very, very averagely. Like if we look at home games that he started, it's just like he's going to shoot 50. What do I need? I'll opt for the lower threshold. So from 4 players, I need 270. So I need over 60 points per player. I need someone that's going to do well. Is Paredes going to keep a clean sheet? Most likely. Clean sheet scored 38%. Do I play the new boy that I got as a reward? Like I said, Jokdang is playing against bottom of the league. Chances are he keeps clean sheet. This is tough, guys. And look how many of these players, obviously a lot of these are players that are injured or are just there for collection bonus. You know what? We're going to go with Jokdang. I'm backing Jokdang. He can go there. Only 2% odds. Do I go out? I've got so many points as well. Do I buy a keeper? I may buy a keeper. For who is? Because I need, like I was talking to you, I was very happy with winning the other card because I need what was I saying? I need more teams. Do I go out and buy Kojima so I can stack Kojima and Jokdang? What's Kojima's? To be honest, he's a very good keeper. How much is he going for? He's £18. Do I go out? So we've got Kojima, we've got Akuno as well, and their keeper is Jin Huen, who is a very good scorer on the platform as well, and going for £12 as well. Or we have got the new boy Kota Wantabe, who I want as well, because I want a J-League lineup. We have William Pop, who is not getting bought. He's a very good keeper, but I'm not buying him because I'm not spending £44 on a goalkeeper. That's never going to happen. I need a forward from the J-League. Is something I need as well. I may go out and look to buy a J-League forward and a J-League goalkeeper, which may make this team better because I want to play J-League as well, because A, there's a J-League special weekly coming up, and B, I need, obviously, I've got MLS over the summer, I've got Argentina over the summer, I need something else over the summer for 3 teams in rotation. So that's going to be what we're going to do. We're going to we'll captain Jesus. We'll save that lineup right there. They're going to be the lineups that I built today, guys. I'm not going to bore you with these other lineups. Like, yes, I do have a good amount of other players to put in the teams, but they're just going to go in as more of a grindy players. See if I can get maybe a box in one of the teams, or if I can go out and do anything else. So looking at the teams, guys, like I said, starting from the best team that I've ever put together, Premier League Classic, this team right here, 84 rating. Fingers crossed, clean sheet, high score, like a 5-0 win. Everyone gets decisives, huge score. We then have got the Champion Classic going in as well. And then my 3 Challenger teams, I'm confident about these 2. Pretty confident about this team. Obviously, they are away from home. We will see what happens. Wishing you guys all the best of luck with your lineups coming up over this game week. If you are new around here, then please drop a like and please subscribe, as it will be greatly appreciated. If you are new to Sorare, then go and click the link in my description and sign up. When you sign up, I get some benefits, you get some benefits. We just help each other out. Best of luck this game week to everyone. Let me know what team that I put out you think is going to win me my best reward. And fingers crossed, we will be bringing you a rewards video tomorrow. It is very dependent on the one and only Paulo Diaz once again. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.